Welcome everybody to the World Car ARCA series here at Thunder Road Bowl International. I would have to check the full name of this track, but all I'm going to say is it's a short track out in Vermont. It's going to be a thriller of classic short track racing action here in Vermont. And of course, the big story this week, Cletus McFarland, fourth in World Car ARCA points coming into this race, starts on the pole, but interestingly chooses the outside lane, and you'll see why when the race starts out. But let's take a look at our starting grid here. Starting on pole, like I said, is the one, the only, hell yeah, brother, Cletus McFarland, baby, in the number 30. And alongside him is the person who was second in points entering this race, surprisingly with an unchartered car, Dakota Sullivan. Also one of two uncharted entries to make this race. Then we have Justin Marks in row number 2, the points leader, and alongside him is Bobby Zielinski. And in this next row right here, we've got Sterling Marlin in the 40 and the number 96 of Spitfire. Tyler Cornell starts in this row over here in the number 21, and alongside him is the current RCR number 2 driver of Brian Scott. Of course, some news over the off weekend that a certain pink horse is going to take over that car starting next season. So good luck to Brian Scott, considering he's now on the market for yet another ride. And in this next right here, we've got Scootaloo in the number 98, and alongside her is the number 20 of Cole Denton. And in this next right here, we've got the number 29 of Ryan Huff, and alongside him is Paul Tracy. And then in this next right here, we've got the Tabasco number 42, Hatsune Miku. And then this next right here is the second uncharted entry. Literally every other uncharted and part-time entry went home. The number 4, driven by Landon Lewis. And alongside him is Davey Allison, the last winner we had at Bristol. And in this next row right here, I've got Caden Quaffle in the number 12 for Team Penske. And alongside him is Jack Wood in the number 13. And in this next row right here, we've got Spooky in the number 23. A bit of a new paint job this week. And alongside him is Tyler Custer, no relation to Cole Custer. And then this next row right here, we've got Connor Hall in the number 8, and alongside him is Kirby in the 33. And in this next row right here, we've got the number 35, driven by Sonic the Hedgehog, and alongside him is Olivia Dunn in the 86 DC Solar Chevy. And in this next row right here, we've got Cole Butcher in the number 22 Mopar Dodge for Team Penske, and alongside him is Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the number 04 Nations Guard Chevy. And as we approach the last two rows here, we've got the number 19 of Kasane Tito for Joe Gibbs Racing, and alongside her is the number 43, driven by none other than the grandson of all grandsons, Adam Petty. And in the final sections right here, we've got the number 87 of Travis Pastrana, and alongside him is Isabella Robusto in the number 15 Milwaukee Ford. So this race is going to be very, very interesting. As you can tell, the cars are not starting on pit road. They're starting on the racetrack, and that's due to how short of a track this is, because Thunder Road, I don't know much about it. I don't live in Vermont. I don't know that area quite well, to be honest. But I have seen a lot of practice sessions here, and I can tell you straight up, there's one groove that explains why Cletus McFarland chose the high side here, and that's because the high side is the lane to be here. And also another key factor about this track, there's no walls, so these drivers have to be extra careful around this racetrack, of course, because it's a little bit less protective than Bristol. Bristol was more forgiving than this. I don't think this track is going to be that forgiving in terms of the wrecks, especially, I believe, the entire racetrack minus, I would say, parts of turn 4 and the front straightaway have a wall. Literally nothing else. So if you spin out and go outside the track, you might wind yourself up with a destroyed race car. But don't worry, due to the most recent death of Ryan Sieg, rest in peace, in World Car, they took some safety measures to these cars. Of course, these cars are known for being safe. So hopefully no one is going to get themselves with a broken leg or a broken foot or whatever. I mean, Bobby Zielinski did get close, but he is starting in 4th today. So hopefully, great run for him. Incoming, and talk about the point standings right here. Justin Marks still the points leader. Dakota Sullivan still second in points entering this race. And the rest of the top 10 entering this race, it goes as follows. We got Paul Tracy in 3rd. Cletus McFarland, the pole sitter, in 4th in points. Kenny Irwin, 5th in points. Brian Scott is 6th in points. Hatsune Miku, 7th in points. Andres Perez, who failed to make this race, came into this 8th in points. Unfortunately, won't be able to gain much. Davey Allison came into this race 9th in points. And then, of course, you got to take a look at the chase bubble here. Of course, 8 drivers in the World Car ARCA series make the chase. The chase cutoff is between a guy that currently isn't in the race and a guy that is in the race. So Andres Perez definitely going to lose on some points. And Ryan Huff, don't look on him now or look underneath him right now, because he could have a sneaky shot of making the chase when it's all said and done. As the pace car is now going, we're about to be underway here in this classic short track here in Vermont. And by the way, I've seen many classic short tracks. This is not just going to be the first. There's going to be a wide range of short ovals that the World Car ARCA series is going to go to throughout its season. But this is only the beginning, as Cletus McFarland in the number 30 is going to lead the field to the green flag here in Thunder Road. We're underway for the THX 200. And a great launch there by Mr. Cletus over there. Has the lead down the back straightaway into 3 and 4 and will lead lap number 1. And of course, these drivers being careful as they have to be around this racetrack. You're going to see some desperate moves being made around the outside, because that's basically where the racing groove is. We apologize for the turn 3 camera, by the way. We don't know what's going on there. As Cletus McFarland leads the opening laps, Bobby Zelensky to the outside. And coming into this race, Zelensky wasn't really ranked well in the point standings. 38th in points coming into this race. Desperately needed a good run. He's to the outside of Dakota Sullivan for second. But Dakota Sullivan, interestingly enough, still hanging on the low side for now as Spitfire gets to the outside of Justin Marks, the points leader, and hangs on for 4th. As Zelensky finally gets to the outside, Dakota Sullivan passes him cleanly for 2nd on lap 5. And of course, the interesting thing about this racetrack is that because there's no walls, these drivers have to be extra careful when managing these turns, as right now Zelensky goes to the inside of Cletus McFarland for the race lead. Cletus is going to fight back around the outside, but no, Zelensky to the lead. And remember his story, Bobby Zelensky, I believe, came up through iRacing, so now he's trying to drive these big, clunky stock cars in the real world. So let's see how he'll do it as we come around through 3 and 4. On lap number 8, remember Kyle Busch. And we are back from that. As we can see right here, Zelensky still pulling out to a bit of a lead. Cletus is still trying to egg him on in 2nd. Spitfire, interestingly enough, still in 3rd. And how about Brian Scott? I mean, looking very impressive. Like I said, he's an agent on the market. So any team willing to sign him, it could be some really big gain for whoever signs Brian Scott. As right now he gets passed by Dakota Sullivan. Again, we do apologize about those cameras in turn 3. We got to do something about those cameras. We're now in lap 11 as right now Brian Scott clears Dakota Sullivan for the 4th position. Justin Marks just barely behind Dakota Sullivan right there. And then you got Sterling Marlin, Paul Tracy, and right now the 24 looking back on the inside, the number 2, but the 2 slams the door, at least for the time being, considering he's using the high side at Thunder Road. As right now the 2 trying to hang on desperately as the caution comes out. Oh, and that's Davey Allison in the back, the last winner we had. Oh, honestly, that kind of is his fault. Let's see what happened right here. Oh, got loose next to Kenny Irwin, slides outside the racing surface, and I think his turning was broken, but thankfully he's all right. He's out of the car. He should be all right here. Zelensky to the lead, as right now we're under the first caution of the race. As right now these guys trying to go by the pace car there because they technically weren't a lap down when the caution came out. All of them having to avoid. So far Zelensky having a career race. Like I said, he had a sort of near injury at Daytona, but thankfully was able to avoid it thanks to the safety of these race cars. And then you have the number 30 of Cletus in 2nd. Of course, best performance by Cletus we have seen to date here in the World Car ARCA series. Then we've got Spitfire in third, Brian Scott in the top 5, Dakota Sullivan also in the top 5. And as we look at the rest of the top 10, we've got Justin Marks, the points leader, Sterling Marlin, great run going into this race, considering coming into this race, he was ranked 28th in points. So a great turnaround for Sterling Marlin in the number 40, the 11 of Paul Tracy also back there. He's third in points, so don't count out his championship pedigree because he could be a force to be reckoned with. And then, of course, we've got Cole Denton in the number 20. Coming into this race, Cole Denton was ranked 13th in points. The amount of uncharted entries missing this race might surely help him, considering coming into this race he was 13th in points, but needs to be in the top 8 when it's all said and done. So great runs like this are good, but he needs to be better. And of course we got Hatsune Miku up here. Of course, Miku surprisingly good in these cars, okay? Like, everyone I think came into this season knowing, oh, Hatsune Miku, I think she's just going to turn to another Haley Deegan. No, she's been anything but. She's currently 7th in the ARCA points. It's all, at least she's doing all right. She's in the chase conversation, and of course she's ahead of one guy that missed the race. And of course, Brian Scott doing a lot better than her, doesn't really scream a lot, but she is doing better than Kenny Irwin, who is deeper in the field. As we get the 1 to go signal, go back to the green flag right here, as right now the iRacer, Bobby Zielinski in the number 82, is going to be leading the field with Cletus McFarland in tow, followed by Spitfire, Brian Scott, Dakota Sullivan in the top 5, Justin Marks in 6th, Sterling Marlin in 7th, Paul Tracy in the top 10, as well as Cole Denton and Hatsune Miku as the pace car makes the hard left back on the pit road. Bobby Zielinski in the number 82 is going to go back to the green flag, and back to the gas we go at Thunder Road. Great launch there. Great restart for the number 82. The 2 of Brian Scott looking to the inside of the number 96, but it doesn't really work. So it goes behind the 96, as right now Zielinski continues to lead at Thunder Road. And the interesting thing about Thunder Road, with the fact that there were no walls like there, because Davey Allison, as we mentioned, slid outside the racetrack. Let's say we think that's not going to happen later in the night, considering this track is known for having wild finishes as well. Because right now, Bobby Zielinski eagerly trying to hang on. And if he hangs on for the next 60 laps, he'll be crowned as a victor finally in World Cars. Right now, he's currently holding off the number 30 of Cletus McFarland, followed by the 96 of Spitfire, although Spitfire's got a little bit less control of the race car as of right now, considering she almost got passed right there on the low side by Brian Scott, but he's fine for the time being. A little bit of a smoke show back there, but I believe they are fine. Yeah, I believe someone got into the dirt up there, which was what where the wall would be, is kind of just dirt all over the track. Or actually, no, that's sand all over the outside groove. But right now, it is all still Bobby Zielinski, still leading on lap 24, now 25 out of 80. And right now, he's definitely hanging on for the time being against a group of cars that are quite literally competitive. And now, he's looking on the inside lane here in the turns 1 and 2. That actually helped him a little bit, but yeah, I wouldn't continue using the low side if I were the 82, because you saw Brian Scott back there. I think he tried going to the inside of the 96, but as you can see, it didn't really quite work out as he's falling behind a little bit. The top 3 all neck and neck and neck, as here comes Cletus to the inside once again. Battle for the lead. Cletus with a power move back to the lead, but Bobby Zielinski's not going to give up on that high side. Drag race down the backstretch, and Zielinski takes it back. Wow, great short track racing here up in Vermont as we reach lap number 29. And I think the 82 nearly got in the wall. Here comes Cletus again on the inside, sideways for him. He's going to bully his way back to the lead here if he doesn't get his way soon, as Dakota Sullivan really trying to power through with that inside lane, considering he saw what Cletus did and said, man, I'm going to get a piece of that, side by side with a literal horse down the back straightaway. Man, oh man, great racing all the way around. Spitfire gets away from Dakota Sullivan quite easily, but Dakota Sullivan is still there. Oh, it's not over yet. These two are trying to tangle with each other on the back straightaway. That didn't really quite work out, but they're still hanging on with each other as we enter lap 32. And of course, with great battles erupting throughout the field with classic short track action happening everywhere, you can tell that these drivers are a little bit on edge, knowing that the Uncharted cars are not going to clog up the field with those point standings. I mean, like I mentioned, early coming into this race, Andres Perez, who is Uncharted, came into this race basically in the chase. He was Uncharted, therefore he got booted out of the race. Or sorry, no. Qualifying happened. He was one of the few Uncharted entries that were unlucky enough to miss the race, as here comes Cletus to the outside for the lead. Now Zelensky shuts the door again. Man, oh man, Cletus is trying everything he can to catch up to Bobby Zelensky, but Zelensky has this track figured out. Woo! And as right now, as you can see right here, as right now our camera's having a bit of a struggle night as well, you can tell both the cameras and the drivers have one thing in common. They're both struggling mightily tonight. As right now, Cletus pulling away from the 96 again. At least he's got the handle back on the car. Dakota Sullivan to the outside of Brian Scott. Scott, I think, also tried the inside lane like Zelensky did, but it didn't really quite work out, as right now Sullivan hangs on to that spot for the time being, as we have a side-by-side battle right here. This is for the 7th position. Mark's hanging around the outside of Cole Denton. Denton looking on the inside, but so far nothing is working for Cole Denton, so I think he's going to get back the spot, as here comes Paul Tracy to the inside of Brian Scott. It works briefly for the moment, but Scott has a run on the back straightaway, will clear Paul Tracy into turn 3. Man, oh man, you can tell these drivers are getting agitated tonight. We are halfway in this race, and you could already tell some of these drivers, like Zelensky, McFarlane, Spitfire, they're having a hell of a show out front. The fans are enjoying this. We are less than halfway through the race, so we're gonna see who will win, or if Zelensky can hang on for the next 40 laps, as Cletus still eagerly trying to await in second. So right now, battle erupting once again. This is for the 7th position, as another caution comes out on the racetrack. Ooh, no! I believe that was Kenny Irwin. That's a wall, Kenny. So let's take a look at what happened back here to bring out the caution. Oh! Slides with... Oh, that appears to be Caden Quaffle. Got caught up in that mess as well. So it looks like he's done for the day. And then Kenny Irwin, I think, try getting back on the racetrack. Hits... that's not where the track is, Kenny. Jeez, these drivers need a compass tonight, because I think they're kind of lost. But I digress. So far, we've had 44 laps of action. There's still a lot more to come. You can tell the fans are going to get hyped about this. And let's see, has there been any movement moving into the top 10? Let's see right here. Brian Scott, we talked about him. Justin Marks, I believe, is up there as well. Cole Denton, still in the top 10. Sterling Marlin, like I mentioned, coming into this race, he was 28th in points. This is definitely going to help out his point situation. And speaking of helping out point situations, look at the man in 10th. That is Tyler Cornell coming into this race 10th in, well, not 10th in points, but 10th in the race. He came into this race 35th in points, so desperately needed the turnaround. And right now he's currently getting it as we speak. As right now he currently hangs on against an Anime Girl, Pegasus, and also Ryan Huff. And also Jack Wood back there, as we see more cars going on the pit road. Let me check who DNF'd. Davey Allison and Caden Quaffle. Both of them had really good cars coming into this race, especially Davey Allison with that good short track program of his. Considering he won the most recent race, I'm a little bit surprised that that car actually DNF'd first. So, F's in the chat for one, Mr. Davey Allison. But some great news again for Bobby Zelensky, because he needs all the points he can get. Because coming into this race, Zelensky was ranked 38th in points, worse than basically all the drivers in the race. So yeah, him having an impressive performance right now is really going to turn around that season. So, then again, I'm not a betting man, nor do I have betting odds in front of me, but if I were a betting man, I would place a few chips on the number 82, a few chips on the 30, and some more on the 96 for good measure, considering how crazy short track racing can be, especially here in Vermont. As we are going to get the one to go signal here, Bobby Zelensky still in the lead. Cletus McFarland in second. Spitfire in third. Dakota Sullivan fourth. Paul Tracy rounds out the top 5. Then we got the points leader in sixth. We've got Brian Scott, the man on the move for next season, up there in the top 10. We got Cole Denton up here. Sterling Marlin and Tyler Cornell rounds out the top 10. As we see, Olivia Dunn, I think, had a pit stop, so that's probably why she's trying to get back on the racetrack as much as she can, as Bobby Zelensky in the 82 is going to lead the field back to the green flag, and back to the gas they go here in Thunder Road. And honestly, that restart was actually really good for Bobby Zelensky. Pulls him out to a big lead over Cletus McFarland as we head in the lap 49. And a great battle erupting here for the third position. The 24 once again to the inside of the number 96. Remember, they're both manufacturer teammates. And it didn't really quite work out for the number 24, Cletus, trying to use the low side in 3 and 4. That's not really good, considering we've seen that low side in 3 and 4 be not the best. Although Zelensky pulling away is great. And also, how about Pinnacle Racing Group? That team has 2 other cars in the top 2 spots as of right now. That team has been sort of up and down lately, but I'd say for this race, they were riding high. They studied the track details, as right now we see contact between Brian Scott and Dakota Sullivan right next to Paul Tracy. These 3 getting together. Brian Scott, what did he do to the inside and takes over the 4th position? Wow, an aggressive move by Brian Scott, but then again, he had to make that move. He's on the move for next season, and team owners really need a driver that can honestly just drive the race car to their best of abilities. And right now, I think Brian Scott is using all the ability of his talent that he can to his advantage, as right now Sullivan to the outside of Paul Tracy will take over the 5th position. As right now, great battles erupting in the majority of the field. Brian Scott really using that high side to his power advantage. He's really put the power down there, I believe, on the high side there in the right spot. As once again, we see a battle happening back here. Tracy says, "You're going to take 5th away from me? I'll just take it right back. Thank you very much, sir." As right now, a lot of battles erupting throughout the field. You see Sterling Marlin getting to the inside of the number 91. Trying to pass him cleanly, but this is a short track. You expect clean passing? Please, and around goes Jack Wood. Scootaloo's around as well. That will bring the caution out again. And Zelensky's going to lead the field back to the race back, as Scootaloo apparently is trying to get more damage onto her race car. I don't know what this is going to do. I mean, at least he's trying to drive in the right direction. That's honestly quite a good sign, but at the same time, it's, yeah, no offense, but that's not how car works. But let's take a look at what happened here to bring out caution number, I believe this is 2 of the night. No, 3. Caution number 3 of the night. Oh, Scootaloo just got into the 13, spun him out. Thankfully, he was able to save it. Scootaloo on the other end just went a little bit further and decided to damage her car in the process in frustration, I guess. Yeah, ran into the trees. Didn't really quite work out for her, but at least she's still trying with these stock cars. Like Spitfire in 3rd right there. She's still getting used to stock cars, as is the majority of the rest of the field. The only guy that I'd say is basically used to stock cars by this point. The only people I'd say in the top 10 that are Cole Denton, Sterling Marlin, Justin Marks, Brian Scott, and Cletus McFarland. I mean, hey, for those of you in the viewers that are saying Cletus McFarland does not have that much ARCA experience, he literally does. He quite literally could be considered as such, at least for this series. Anyways, with the pace car out in full swing, you gotta wonder what's going on in the Bobby Zelensky's head or Cletus McFarland head, considering that pass for the lead was stout and dramatic. Cletus, I think, tried to pass him once. It did work briefly before Zelensky said, "I'm gonna take that right back." And that's what the passing we've seen here in Thunder Road was. It's basically a game of musical chairs, minus all the fun and the glitz. Because here it's only shrapnel, sheet metal, and a bunch of hurt feelings and tempers after the race. And you can tell, just by the way these guys are driving, that they're driving a little bit more aggressively than what we would normally see them. Sure, Bristol had way too many cautions to count, but here is true short track racing. Bristol was just a caution fest. This is where the real stars shine, honestly. Bristol does see some stars shine, but not when there's a billion cautions to show for it. Here, there's only been 3, so we'll see what these guys can be capable of, as right now Zelensky still leads, Cletus in second, Spitfire in third, Brian Scott in fourth. Paul Tracy rounds out the top five. Scooter on a lap down, by the way. Dakota Sullivan in sixth. Justin Marks, the points leader, still sits in seventh. Sterling Marr in eighth. Cole Denton in ninth. And Hatsune Miku rounds out the top 10 here at Thunder Road as Bobby Zelensky trying to hold off Mr. Hell Yeah, brother, coming out of 3 and 4. And back to the gas incoming here at Thunder Road. We're back underway. And great launch once again for the number 82. Cletus to the outside of that number 98. Clears her and now sets stage for the number 82. These two are teammates. They're going to be battling door to door, wheel to wheel for the win. And those two fighting back there, they're teammates. So of course the 96 gets more of the benefit than the number 30. As right now something's going on with Cletus. As right now, the 96 gets to the inside. This is for second. Spitfire takes second away as Cletus drops back to third. That is a little disappointing, but I think Cletus is playing the long game here, considering I think Cletus knows that there's just a short amount of laps to go. So he's sending in everything he's got, training for the number 82, as right now the 82 and the 96 pulling away once more. And then a lap car right there. That's part of the same team as the 96. So right now, a lot of team strategy going into effect as another caution comes out. That is Travis Pastrana and the number 19, both caught up in that one. And there's the race back to the line. Travis Pastrana barely gets his lap back. The number 19 isn't so lucky. Let's take a look at what happened back here to bring out the fourth caution of the race. I think Pastrana just forgot how to drive for like a 3-second window. So spins out there, and we think the 19 is going to get back on the lead lap. No, she hit the wall there, so therefore she's going to be put a lap down thanks to that. And now Zelensky is still the leader. Spitfire is in second. Cletus is in third. I think Cletus is going to set everyone up for a banger restart. He's probably saving his stuff because Cletus isn't known for being quiet and unbashful and unembracing. No, he's going to bully people here. And when you give Cletus a lot of motivation, that's not a recipe for success. That's a recipe for disaster incoming. As right now, the 82 still leads the field with the 96 second. Cletus in third. We got Brian Scott somehow managing to stay inside the top 5, as well as Dakota Sullivan. Those two having really impressive nights for themselves. Then we got Paul Tracy in 6th. Justin Marks, like I said, he's the points leader. And he's probably, there's a reason why. He's being really consistent this race. And we have Cole Denton, Sterling Marlin, and Hatsune Miku. And remember the World Car caution rules, because we're approaching the late stages of the race. If a caution comes out with 5 or less laps to go, the race will end under caution. Unless if we can get a 1-lap shootout, which I have seen here in different practice sessions. So right now, the 82 of Zelensky trying to hang on and collect his first win of the season. The 96 Spitfire also trying to get her first win of the season, trying to prove to everybody that at least horses can drive race cars. Although she isn't technically a horse, but we can have that discussion if she wins. And then we got Brian Scott in 4th. Dakota Sullivan rounds out the top 5. I'd like to give a shout out to Dakota Sullivan, despite the fact that his car is unchartered. That car was at risk of missing the race, and he put it upon himself to make his name known, and he's currently second in points, and he's 5th in the race. What say he can possibly win the championship just by existing there? And then you got Paul Tracy in 6th, the points leader in 7th, Justin Marks being consistent as ever. Then you have Cole Denton in 8th, Sterling Marlin in 9th, Hatsune Miku in 10th. You see all those guys in the back half of the top 10 having really good points days, except for Miku. Miku's just known to be up here, I guess. As Zelensky and the 96 going to try to duke it out here with 10 to go, coming to 9 to go this restart at Thunder Road. We're going to see some chaotic short track racing. Let's get ready. And then once again, a great restart by the outside lane, because the outside lane is the only good lane here at Thunder Road. You see Cletus actually trying to catch up from all the way back there. He's closing in on these two. There's going to be a dogfight for the lead in the closing laps. As right now, Zelensky still hanging on for the moment, using the outside lane to his advantage. Cletus is technically still back there. He's just going to fight along with the 96 to get that spot back. Or will he, considering he's using the low side? And that's a no-no here at this racetrack. Spitfire actually is gaining a lot of time and momentum with that eyesight. I'd be very scared if I were Zelensky. But then again, I'd also be slightly comforted because we're at 6 to go. And as of this point right now, Zelensky is so close to that first World Car win. He can almost taste the victory as we come around to 5 laps to go. Remember, if a yellow comes out now, the race is going to end under caution. So right now, Zelensky has to do is just pray, be patient, and hang on for the next several laps. Because right now, he's putting that car on the edge of control. I wouldn't do that, but hey, it's getting late to the race. These guys are going to try to start driving it on the edge. As right now, you see Zelensky doing exactly that, driving on the edge. I mean, Spitfire and Cletus might be doing the exact same moves, but we'll see right here. More dirt being kicked up once again. As right now, the 82 car comes around. Gonna go 2 to go this time by. Here in the THX 200 at Thunder Road, the 96 is definitely closing in now. Now the question is, can the 96 catch the 82? The 82 is using the low side, just trying to be careful in the last lap. White flag here at Thunder Road. Can Bobby Zelensky hang on against the 96? Down the back straightaway for the final time. Does the 96 have one last shot in the 3 and 4? There's a wreck in front of them. And they're going to come back to the line. Zelensky's going to get his first World Car win. Wow, and now to avoid chaos in the skirmish, Bobby Zelensky gets his first World Car win and does it in dramatic fashion with a breathing, literal Spitfire on his back bumper. Wow, what a race. What a thriller. What a genuine show that these drivers put on in the closing laps. And you saw some guys and gals back there getting into a last lap incident. Let's take a look at what happened back there to bring out that last, wreck of the race. Because, man, oh, man, it was something. I'll tell you what, it was definitely something. It was probably something that none of these guys expected coming back to the start-finish line, considering they had to avoid chaos. They had to do what they had to do in order to win the race. And that's exactly what Bobby Zelensky did. Let's take a look at what happened back here. So Olivia Dunn got loose, gets into Travis Pastrana. Pastrana's finally had enough and just takes out Adam Petty and the 15 of Isabella Robusto. So some not so happy emails are going to be sent out here because they almost always do here in the World Car ARCA series. Well, that was some great classic short track action here at the Thunder Road International Speed Bowl here in, I believe this is Barrie, Vermont. I could be wrong about the location. Anyway, so congratulations to Bobby Zelensky on the win. Spitfire gets a much-needed second place. Cletus McFarland, best World Car ARCA performance yet, gets a third. And then you got Brian Scott. He's looking for a ride next season. Paul Tracy in the top 5. Great run for him. He's third in points, too, so don't forget about that. Then you have Cole Denton 6th, Sterling Marlin 7th, Dakota Sullivan 8th. Justin Marks gets a much-needed top 10. I mean, he's the points leader coming into this race, so great run for him. And, of course, Dakota Sullivan finishing just ahead of him is going to sting a little bit. Then you've got Hatsune Miku in the top 10. Great performance by her all around. I'm still surprised that people really don't consider her a great driver. I mean, look at tonight. She got a top 10 on a very short track. I'd be very impressed if I were quite literally anybody else. And as we look through the rest of the field here, we've got Landon Lewis with his 11th place. Kirby gets 12th. Ryan Huff gets 13th. Connor Hall 14th. Bobby Hamilton Jr. gets a solid top 15 run out of that as we take a look through the rest of the order. Tyler Cornell 16th. Spooky 17th. Sonic gets an 18th. Tyler Custer 19th. And Cole Butcher gets a solid top 20 in this race right here. So look at the rest of the field. Jack Wood, 21st. Olivia Dunn, 22nd. Travis Pastrana, 23rd. Robusto and Scootaloo are just lucky, I guess, to be on the track still. And as we look back here, Kasani Tito, Adam Petty, Kenny Irwin, Carson Quaffle, and Davey Allison as your finishing order here at Thunder Road. Oh, man. That was fantastic short track racing. A great example of what we're going to see later on in the season. And once again, congratulations to Pinnacle Racing Group and Bobby Zelensky for getting the win here at the THX 200 here in the Thunder Road Speed Bowl in Vermont. And this has been Yugoslav Pony with the World Car ARCA series. Signing off for now. Take care, y'all.
This telecast may not be reproduced retransmitted, or re-uploaded in any form without giving explicit credit to C Media, the featured properties under its C Sports division, and the sanctioning bodies featured in this presentation.